Hello and welcome to another daily dose of Satoshi's News. Today's date is Friday the 3rd of November 2023, the year of BSV. Buy BSV.live, the best place to buy Bitcoin SV online, the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin. Alright, here we go, let's get into it. So this is a personal call out to Craig just to ask him to get in contact with me with regard to his court case, because I'm going to explain a way that it can be handled in a very successful way that his lawyer will just simply not explain to him. So just to give you an idea about who Craig is actually going up against here, Craig actually posted out here on the 11th of December 2010. It would have been nice to get attention, to get this attention in any other context. WikiLeaks has kicked the hornet's nest and the swarm is heading towards us. So we obviously understood what was going on there, but this hornet's nest that he's referred to as being kicked is absolutely nothing, and I mean nothing, in comparison to the size of the bear that you are currently poking. It is absolutely enormous. And when I say absolutely enormous, I found this passage for you. So what you are actually going up are these people who are actually mentioned in the Bible in Revelations 3:9. So this was a quote from the English Standard Version. It says, "Behold, I will make those of the synagogue of Satan who say they are Jews and are not, but lie. Behold." So these are the money changers of old. And again, there's another reference in the Bible as well. Check this out. Matthew, and again, one of your favourite numbers, 21:12. It says in the International Version, "Jesus entered the temple courts and drove out all who were buying and selling there. He overturned the tables of the money changers and the benches of those selling doves." So, funnily enough, judges these days are actually referred to as money changers. And the reason they're referred to as money changers is because they are mainly administrators. And so if they are an administrator and working for the bank, which they do, and you're up against those who are actually mentioned in the book of Revelations, which means they've been around for thousands of years, this network is absolutely huge. This is what you're going up against. So if you are going to enter their court and play their games, you need to know the rules. And again, as they say, if you dance with the devil, you're going to get burned. So you better make sure that you actually understand the court that you're going into and the rules that they set out for you. And these rules I went over the other day in the Presumptions of Court, but just as a quick reminder, it's presumed that it will not be on the public record unless you actually rebuke it. It's assumed that they are acting under their superior oath, which is the oath to the Bar Guild, and they're effectively not acting as public officials, which they sort of claim to be. There was section 7, so this is really important. So the presumption of the Court of Guardians is the presumption that as you may be listed as a resident of a ward, so basically you're in a psychiatric ward, you're a lunatic, can't look after yourself, of a local government area and have listed on your passport the letter P, you are a pauper and therefore under the guardian powers of the government and its agents as the Court of Guardians. So effectively what they're going to be doing is running a mockery of you on there, and unless you rebuke this. And again, I think it's section 11, the presumption of innocence, or the presumption of guilt. That's something else I was going to say. There we go. So you are there we go. So the presumption of incompetence is the presumption that you are at least ignorant of the law, therefore incompetent to present yourself and argue properly, which is why you're using a barrister. And a barrister would just simply do you no favours whatsoever. So therefore, the judge stroke magistrate, as the executor, so again the administrator of the CES2KV Trust, has the right to have you arrested, detained, fined or forced into a psychiatric evaluation. Unless this presumption is openly challenged to the fact that you know your position as executor and beneficiary and actively rebuke and object to any contrary presumptions, then it stands by the time of pleading that you're incompetent. Then the judge or magistrate can do what they need to keep you obedient. And there's another one about being a lunatic. I think that might be in the first one, actually. It's just presumed that you are a lunatic. Let's see if we can find this one again. I know it's around here somewhere. I was presuming. Oh well, I know I found it here somewhere. But anyway, my point is, if you were just simply going into court expecting to just simply present your evidence, it's never going to work, and your barrister or your lawyers are never going to tell you this. So I'm going to tell you what can be done. So first of all, in this situation, you have the judge. Then you have the plaintiffs, who are those who are bringing the claim. And then you have the defendant. Now, the problem is, if you're going in as the defendant, the only responsibility you have is to answer the accusations presented to you. Whereas what you need to do is to actually present the evidence that you've got that proves who you are as Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator and inventor of Bitcoin. So what you really need to do is to have the role of the individual who is acting and playing the role of the judge effectively removed. Now, we don't mean take him out. What we mean is remove his role as a judge. So therefore, he now no longer needs to cast a judgment or adjudicate the event. And the way you do that is you go after the claimant. You go after the claimants who are bringing the claim. And you question whether or not they actually have the authority to bring the claim and ask them who they are. So what you really want to do is get the claimants on the back foot and then take them out. And so now because the claimant and the plaintiffs aren't there, a judge is now no longer needed. So the judge will just simply make a judgment on the evidence that you present to them, because the plaintiff cannot prove that they have the authority to bring a claim, and therefore they're effectively can't remember the word now. It escapes me. It's misconducting. Contempt of court is what I was looking at. So again, this is all about trickery. Normally what they'll do is they'll go sort of like straight to a hearing, whereas you need to have all parties involved introduce themselves. So the claimants need to prove that they have a right to be bringing the claim. Again, I can explain this in more details. If you would please contact me so we can actually go over this. So really the idea is that you need to bring a counterclaim. And a counterclaim will actually allow you to present the evidence that you have. Whereas if you're just simply the defendant, you have no right to produce your evidence. You are literally just defending the claim. Whereas what you really need to do is actually get your evidence out into the public. And the judge just simply make a ruling on the evidence that you presented, because there's no plaintiff there. Also, again, one of the other arguments that is absolutely essential to this is the economic argument. And I do not believe that your lawyers that you're using are going to bring this. This is absolutely essential because it all comes down to economics. There is no point in creating a financial instrument that has no economic value whatsoever. So again, these points of how Bitcoin is structured, the protocol is structured, are going to need to be explained to the other party in your counterclaim, because you can say to them, look, you've actually corrupted this, you've removed all contractual credibility and economic value. So therefore, your claim against me that actually what I'm doing is making this invention economic value is absolutely ridiculous. So again, structural, just economic competition. You need a chain of digital signatures, which we know they've segregated. You need a lock protocol so no one can change it. Unbranded capacity so that limitations and restrictions can't be manufactured, and then and the network not be manipulated. And a fixed token asset supply. And we've all seen that talk in Arnhem, where you were going on about how they were talking about bringing inflation in because they simply want to control it. And it's really important to actually understand and put forward in your claim SegWit, because they are the ones that have removed contractual credibility and all the economic value that you have in BTC. They have done this, so you actually need to present a counterclaim against them. So please get in contact with me if you see that the individuals that I have specialize in this, and they've just given me this brief overview of how you do it, and you're barrister will not be doing you any favours whatsoever. So please reach out and contact me. And again, I hope you enjoyed the show. That's a 10-minute one. Again, this is all about the largest court case in financial history. The cabal masquerading as COPA, calling themselves the Crypto Open Patent Alliance, against Craig Wright, the creator and inventor of Bitcoin, on the 15th of January 2024. Stay tuned. We'll bring you more. And until then, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.